look at the latest in local news and the news. Funeral services for former Wayne County Commissioner Franklin Smith will be held today at 11 a.m. at the Reinhardt & Sons Funeral Home Chapel with Pastor Randy Pruitt officiating. Mr. Franklin passed away Thursday at the age of 81. He served several terms as a Wayne County Commissioner. He was also a retired employee with the Georgia Natural Gas Company. He's survived by his two sons, Craig Amy Smith of White Oak and Brian Nick Smith of Jesup. In lieu of flowers, memorials may be made to Hospice Society Georgia Building Fund, 1625 Sunset Boulevard, Jesup, GA 31545. Reinhardt & Sons Funeral Home in charge of all the arrangements. Again, funeral for longtime Wayne County Commissioner Franklin Smith being held today at 11 a.m. at the Reinhardt & Sons Funeral Home Chapel here in Jesup. Wayne County Board of Education set to meet Tuesday, March 26th at 6 p.m. for their regularly scheduled board meeting. It will take place at the Tech Center located at 1365 West Orange Street. On the agenda, public participation. Under resolutions and recognitions, Wayne County High School will be recognized. Assistant Superintendent Jana Collins will make the presentations. Also on the agenda, the announcement of the Melba Bennett Murphy Community Service Award. On the agenda, a financial report and executive session for personnel. Also expected the announcement of who will be Wayne County's next head basketball coach. That's expected Tuesday night. Under the new presentation of Principal 321, High School Principal Brett McDaniel on the program for a presentation to the Board of Education. Also on the agenda, capital outlay projects. Should get an update on where the Superintendent and Board of Education is concerning the two main projects, the building of an ag facility and an ROTC building, both at the high school. The last board meeting, two revisions on the cost of the build the ag facility were presented. And the initial cost came in at $12 million with a facility of 36,000 square feet. First revision, a 27,900 foot facility, cost $9,400,000. Second revision, a 23,324 square foot facility at a cost of $8.7 million. Once again, no final decisions have been made. The ROT's facility initial cost is $3,293,000. First revision cost $3,020,000. So again, once again, more discussions this Tuesday at the board meeting. WIFO FM will be on hand. Have a full report for you on Wednesday's newscast. The meeting again set for tomorrow night, 6 o'clock at the Tech Center here in Jesup. The Wayne County High School sent 3 students and 4 events to the state literary meet in Buford High School on Saturday, March 23rd. The school was well represented in the following results. Kaylee Mixon came in second place in literary analysis essay. Jace Cooksey placed 4th in personal essay and 4th place in international extemporaneous speaking. And Oliver Dominguez Canela placed 5th in argumentative essay. Again, those 3 students competing in the state literary meet in Buford High School this past Saturday. We'll be back with more news after this word from our sponsor or the commercial messages, so please stay tuned. In other news, coming up today on the Butch and Bob Show, Warren Walgamuth and his wife and others will be on the show to discuss the upcoming protest scheduled for Wednesday, March 27th, in front of the local district attorney's office. Similar event was held this past November. They'll discuss the reason for the protest and speak to why they've organized the event. A lot of it has to do with the case of the state of Georgia versus John Jankowski, which was turned over to the GBI for a complete investigation. That occurred back on October 27th, 2023, which the DA Keith Higgins released a statement to that effect and said, quote, "I have an ethical responsibility to make sure that when we prosecute a case, we have sufficient evidence to prove guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. When the GBI has completed its investigation, I'll review the case again, make a decision. I'll be open and transparent about my decision at that time." But before the call for a GBI investigation, which came after the initial protest back in November, this case had not 1, not 2, but 3 bond hearings in Superior Court, and lead investigator in the case, Brad Kickletter, with the Wayne County Sheriff's Department, took the stand under oath and talked about the undercover operation. Says it began as a drug investigation. As they state, they, meaning law enforcement in Wayne County, had reports of large amounts of drugs being distributed at 3 different drinking establishments here in Wayne County, and he named the 3 establishments in court. He talked about the undercover operation at the Chop House, in which there were 3 undercover agents, 2 females and 1 male. Kickletter testified in court that one of the female officers was drugged by the defendant, John Jankowski, and she was wearing a video cam, and other officers were monitoring the events at a different location. Kickletter also in court testified that it was John Jankowski who drugged her drink, and they testified that the undercover officer had to be taken to the hospital where they found an illegal drug in her system, consistent with the drug they found in the defendant's truck that evening. Kickletter testified that since John Jankowski's arrest, the 12 other women have come forward with statements that the defendant drugged them as well, and Kickletter named 2 of the women who claimed they were raped. All this testified in court in Wayne County Superior Court, with an assistant DA from Keith Higgins' office asking the questions in court, presenting this as a state's case, which is the district attorney's case, as asking a Superior Court judge to please deny bond and keep the defendant in jail. This took place not once but twice, with Assistant DA Tiffany Montenegro, who worked for DA Higgins, presenting the state's case and presenting the evidence in court, and again demanding that the bond be denied, and bond was denied not once but twice by a Superior Court judge. But time continued, and still with all this state's evidence presented from the assistant DA, from the DA's office, the case was never presented in front of a Wayne County grand jury for an indictment. And state law says you can't hold someone in jail forever, and there's a timetable on when a person has to be indicted or granted a bond. And a third bond hearing was held, and all of a sudden, Assistant DA Tiffany Montenegro is gone from the DA's office, opened up a law practice in Glenn County. A new Assistant DA, Nigel Lush, was in court, appeared in the third bond hearing, presenting the state's evidence, and tells the judge that the rape charge has been dropped, and they have no problem with John Yonkowski receiving a bond, and that's where we stand today. Mr. Yonkowski is free on bond with certain conditions, and the wait on the finding from the GBI report is still taking place. Social media rumors are rampant, but most of it, if not all, is false. Brad Kickletter still works for the Wayne County Sheriff's Department, has not been suspended or reprimanded. Sheriff Chuck Mosley confirmed that when he appeared on the Butch and Bob show a week ago. Should be made clear that everyone is innocent until proven guilty, and no one here is suggesting guilt or innocence, simply asking questions like, why has this case not gone before a grand jury to seek an indictment? And that is the issue not only in this case, but other high-profile cases, such as former Jesup Fire Lieutenant Michael Baker, who faces 3 counts of rape, arrested on July of 2023, or the case against former Wayne County Deputy Weldon Tank Lawson, arrested back in August of 2023. Case after case just in limbo. Many cases are being dropped and not taken to a grand jury and seeking indictments. And that's where Wayne County is at this point, and that's one reason for the protest Wednesday, and that's the topic coming up today on the Butch and Bob Show. We'll be back with some final news notes after this word from our sponsor or the commercial messages, so please stay tuned. Final notes news, WIFO, WLP, and Unity Church of God. I want to thank all those who came out Saturday and enjoyed the annual Easter Fun Day. Great crowd on hand with great food and fun. I want to thank Pastor Calvin Anderson and staff for all they do to help put on the festival. And both WIFO, WLP, and Unity Church of God, I want to thank all the sponsors who help with the festival, because without the sponsors, it's not possible. So thanks again, and again, we look forward to next year's celebration. Wayne County Emergency Management, along with Coastal Pines Technical College, is planning an active shooter drill for May 10th. The day will start with an employee training session followed by the drill. After the drill, they'll be holding a press conference at the Wayne County Emergency Operations Center, 155 North Wayne Street. This will allow local media to ask questions about the event. They'll have college, HR, and local command staff on hand for the media release. Again, they'd like it if you could attend. It is taking place May 10th. Again, the shooter drill at Coastal Pines Technical College. This is an election year. The general primary nonpartisan election is going to be held on Tuesday, May 21st. Again, advanced voting will begin on Monday, April 29th, and go through Friday, May 17th from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. at the new election and registration building at 306 East Pine Street. There'll be 2 mandatory Saturday voting days on May 4th and May 11th from 9 to 5. If you have any questions or concerns, contact the registrar's office at 912-427-5950. And the Wayne County Spring Fair at the JC Fairgrounds gets underway this weekend, March 28th through the 30th, April 1st through the 6th, Monday through Thursday, 6 to 10, Friday, Saturday, 6 to 11. Admission $15 per person, rides included, and that's taking place at the JC Fairgrounds. That's going to do it for latest in local news. Sports comes your way in a few minutes. Bob Morgan, have a great day.